Picture this exact moment. It is brutally hot outside. The temperature inside your room is probably unbearable. You are sweating, and to get some relief, you have a fan running right above or in front of you. The air hits your skin, and you probably think this very fan is what's keeping you safe from the deadly heat. But here is a terrifying truth no one tells you. Past a certain temperature, that fan isn't cooling you down. Instead, under the right conditions, it is making things worse. Not just worse, that fan right in front of you is accelerating the very process that could kill you. Sounds unbelievable, right? To understand why, you first need to understand how your body actually cools itself. Most people think the answer is simply sweating, but science says otherwise. Sweat is just the delivery system. The actual cooling mechanism is evaporation. When sweat sits on your skin and evaporates into the air, it carries away thermal energy, heat. On a hot day, your body depends on this evaporation process every single second just to survive. Without evaporation, sweat is just salty water. It does absolutely nothing to cool you down. And this is exactly where the real problem begins. In dry weather, sweat evaporates quickly. But when the humidity is high, the air around you is already packed with moisture. There is simply no room for more water in the air. As a result, the sweat on your skin cannot evaporate. Your body is an engine. Even when you are resting, just to keep your heart beating, you are constantly generating about 80 watts of heat. Start walking or working, and that number shoots up to 600 or even 800 watts. All of this massive heat has to go somewhere. And the main exit door is evaporation. But when extreme humidity slams that door shut, that trapped heat starts building up inside your body. And right at this critical moment, we encounter a scientific metric, a threshold the human body cannot negotiate with. It is called the wet bulb temperature. Meteorologists have been measuring this problem for over 200 years using something almost comically simple: a wet bulb thermometer. You take a regular thermometer, wrap its tip in a damp cloth, and expose it to the air. As water evaporates from the cloth, it cools the thermometer down. The reading you get is the wet bulb temperature. It tells you exactly how efficiently evaporation is working in that exact moment. In dry air, water evaporates easily, so the wet bulb temperature is much lower than the actual air temperature. But in humid air, that gap closes. And if the air reaches 100% humidity, evaporation stops entirely. The wet bulb and the actual air temperature become identical. This is arguably the most important climate metric you have never heard of, because it doesn't just tell you how hot it is outside, it tells you how hot your body experiences the heat. And there is a very specific number, a hard physical limit, beyond which the human body simply cannot survive. That number is 35 degrees Celsius wet bulb. 35 degrees Celsius wet bulb. This is the threshold. Above it, the laws of physics stop working in your favor. Your normal body temperature is roughly 37 degrees Celsius. For heat to leave your body and enter the surrounding air, the air needs to be able to accept it. But at a wet bulb temperature of 35 degrees, the air is so hot and so saturated with moisture that evaporation from your skin drops to zero. Your body keeps generating heat. It keeps pumping sweat, but there is nowhere for the heat or the sweat to go. Your core temperature begins to rise. Unlike a fever, where your brain deliberately raises your temperature to fight an infection, this rise is completely uncontrolled. The results are devastating. Heat stroke sets in. Your organs begin to shut down,
and eventually death follows. And this is exactly where your fan enters the picture.
At moderate temperatures, a fan is your best friend. It moves air across your skin and speeds up evaporation. That is its entire purpose. But when the air temperature rises above your skin temperature, roughly 35 degrees Celsius, the fan stops helping with evaporation. Instead, it starts doing something terrifying. It begins blowing air that is hotter than your own body directly onto your skin. You are no longer cooling down. You are absorbing heat from the moving air. The fan has transformed into a convection heater aimed right at you. Add high humidity to that, pushing close to the wet bulb threshold, and you have created a worst-case scenario. Evaporation has already failed. The fan cannot restart it. But what the fan can do is rapidly increase the rate at which that hot, heavy air transfers its heat into your body. Under these specific conditions, the fan does not save you. It accelerates the very process that will kill you. This isn't just a theory. Medical studies have proven that in extreme heat and humidity, a fan can measurably increase core body temperatures in elderly people, instead of reducing.
Here is the part that should genuinely alarm you. For a long time, climate scientists believed that a sustained wet bulb temperature of 35 degrees was something to worry about in the distant future, a theoretical nightmare. They were wrong. Recent data reveals that this deadly threshold has already been crossed in places like South Asia, the Persian Gulf, and even parts of the Americas. These events only lasted for a few hours, but they happened. And they are happening more frequently. Worst still, 35 degrees is the absolute limit for a healthy young adult resting in the shade. For an elderly person in an apartment or a laborer working outside under the sun, the deadly threshold is much lower, often around 28 degrees wet bulb. This is where the majority of heat-related deaths actually occur, and we are spending more and more time in this danger zone. So, the next time the heat is suffocating and you instinctively reach for that switch to turn on the fan, remember what it can and cannot do.